I am from Fremont, Michigan, and it was established in 1855 by a group of settlers led by a guy named Daniel Weaver. And then they named it after John C. Fremont, which was an American explorer, military officer, and politician. What monuments, markers, or any other relevant identifiers of your local history is your town known for? We are known for Gerber baby food. It originated in Fremont, and the original factory is still there. Dorothy Gerber started straining foods for her solid foods for her 7-month-old, and then her husband pointed out that it could be done in their canning business, and then it kind of just began from there. And then every year we have the annual Baby Food Festival, which is just like a carnival. It's like a week of events and stuff, and it brings in a lot of people. So yeah. And then we also have the Veterans Memorial. And there's just, it's like in the middle of Fremont, kind of like there's this little park, and then there's like this thing with the names of all Fremont area wartime veterans. Also, another thing I read up on is that Fremont used to be like big into like the lumbering industry, and then there was like Fremont was linked to the National Rail Network, but there was an incline in the industry during the Civil War, and in 1871 there was a major forest fire, and that caused a lot of damage to the lumber mills. I didn't know about that one. That was interesting. And I wouldn't say any of those are really controversial. And then what major events of significance occurred 50 years ago in your hometown? So this one is not 50 years ago, but I thought it was really interesting. During World War II, the Gerber factory housed German prisoners of war. The factories needed them because all the men were at war. I had no idea about that. And then this one was in the past 50 years, but in 1992, there was an old farmhouse being ready to sell. And then like in a hidden attic, they found 3 wooden trunks full of documents and artifacts of the KKK in Fremont. And apparently, Nuevo County has the most detailed documents of the KKK, which include names, ages, occupations, and even the car models that members drove. That was interesting. But what did bring controversy is that all those like things found in the attic were all auctioned off. And so there was like heavy press coverage about that. And the collection consisted of like hoods, robes, photographs, meeting minutes, and it sent them a lot of them into private hands. The auction gathered around $30,000. So I thought that story was interesting. And how has the function and structure of your town, city, or territorial government changed over time due to innovation, economics, movement, peoples within the last decade? We are a very rural town. We're really big into like the FFA and agriculture. We even have a drive your tractor to school day every year. But over the past 10 years, more like big businesses have been coming into town. So we always had the Walmart since I've lived there. And then they built a Meijer, but a lot of people were upset because they built it in like a big field where there used to be like farming there. And then we had this local grocery store named Bill's Shop and Save. And just recently that went out of business, and Family Fare bought that out. So people were upset that their like local businesses were going out because of the big like stores in town. And then they just built an Aldi. So we have a lot of grocery stores for a little town. And now the Family Fare is going out of business. So